Okay, so that's the bot. So this is the bot with all 4 motors in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So these motors are now wired in parallel. So we can see that in this case, the black is on the black wires are on the red, and then black wires on the red. Red is on the spot that's not marked. Red is on the spot that's not marked. So these will turn the same direction when we drive the bot. So right there. Same direction. Cool. And then we've direction checked it in the last video to make sure that when it's... That was weird.
So a question.
Mm-hmm.
This side,
Right.
do you have the red going to the red over there?
Yeah, because in our last video, the last video we had, it was opposite.
Yeah.
No,
So
this other one was opposite. So this one has red on red. This one has black on red on both motors.
got it. So front to back is the same.
Front to back
each
is the
side.
same. Left to right is opposite. And then if it turns out to go the wrong direction, then you swap. If both things go backwards when you're trying to go forwards, you swap the motor from right to left. Like you physically just move the motor from here to here. And then but if they're both going forward when they're supposed to, and then it's just one of them's going left, one of them but the bot's turning left when you're trying to make it turn right, then you just swap these signal wires right here.
So what other parts do you have here connected?
Other parts, because these are the Vex Motor Controller 29s that have been slightly modified. We have to have a battery eliminator circuit, which is just a 5-volt linear I think it's just a 5-volt voltage regulator that goes from the power line right here coming off the switch, goes through here, which drops the voltage from 14.8 volts all the way down to 5 volts, or maybe 5 or 6 volts. I don't remember what this one's set up for, to then power the receiver, because the receiver will blow if you feed it 14.8 volts. So we have to have this in place to provide the receiver with the correct voltage, because the Vex Motor Controller 29s do not supply voltage to the receiver on their own. And then the way these are particularly wired, you actually don't need a negative ground going directly to the receiver, because the negative is supplied off of this common negative. Trying to figure out what the problem is. I think it's just warning me that the thing's on, and then I keep not moving the bot. Anyway, so yeah, so we have our FingerTech power switch. We have our Zippy 25C 1000 milliamp hour battery going to the power switch, and then spreads out from here. Now we have this exposed still, because when this is installed, we have this little 3D printed piece that, ooh, oh well, I think that'll still work. So this actually gets glued in place right here, which we'll be able to see later. But so that gets glued in place. That way it lines up with the holes in the top and supports it. And this way we'll be able to actually replace the individual components without having to cut heat shrink tubing off of the power switch. So then we just have to be really careful with the top plate to actually cover it up to make sure that we don't get a short from that point. But yeah, any questions, Mom? So speed controllers are powered off of there. Signal wire comes in from the receiver. This is our transmitter, and then the transmitter is set up with Elevon mixing, so that I don't know what you're trying to do, but so it's going like that.